Hello, everyone. I'm Zelda Kelly with Scene Crime. This episode 33, and we're taking a little side trip down to Florida to a restaurant that was off property, open to the public, that the Piccolo couple went to have dinner in October of 2023. Now, you may or may not have heard about this, but it's just now hitting the news because Disney has an opinion. But we'll get to that in a minute. Mrs. Piccolo, Dr. Piccolo, had severe allergies to dairy and to nuts and disclosed to the restaurant, please don't add that. Please make sure you keep that away. Told the waiter at least 3 times. And unfortunately, that evening had a fatal reaction for high toxic levels of dairy and nuts in her system. Now, that was shocking, and she was just ripped from her family and friends. And so, of course, Mr. Piccolo is suing Disney. But here's where I have issue. I'm just going to take issue. And you guys tell me, and this is why I said, do you have Disney Plus? Because in 2019, Mr. Piccolo signed up for a free trial of Disney Plus. And in the fine wee little print where he signed up, basically said, if you have a problem with us, I'm paraphrasing, obviously. If you have a problem with us, well, you can't sue us, but you can take us to arbitration. Now, they're saying they've come out with this same statement because this lawsuit is starting to gain some traction. Now, this restaurant that has leased from the Disney property is also being sued, but Disney decided they were going to come out and say, you can't sue us because of that disclosure in the Disney Plus when you signed up for entertainment. Which they're also saying that if ever you get hurt on any of their properties or you have injury as a result of any of their restaurants or rides or anything else, if you have ever signed up for a trial, a free trial, or any service of Disney, and I'm thinking even Hulu, maybe not, but I'm thinking that because they are associated, that you can't sue them because they are protected. And you're agreeing to it because you clicked on that, because you wanted Disney Plus, you wanted to see the Marvel characters, or you wanted to see Star Wars, so does this mean a Mandalorian can come in and have his way and you have a problem and boom, you can't sue? So that's what they're saying. And they said, well, we're mentioning this because just in case they decide that they want to try to sue us, they can't sue us. Now, Mr. Piccolo is suing for $50,000 plus damages, plus funeral expenses, and plus pain and suffering, and maybe a few more things. And Disney is fighting. Now, I want to do a deep dive into this, and I want to see what's going to happen. But this alarmed me because, as expensive as it is, I sometimes like to visit those properties. And if anything would ever happen, you see what I mean? So let's get into it. The Kipper deck we have here for building a foundation. We have the Vintage Tarot, and we have the Hidden deck. I want to see, let's deep dive into this. I want to see exactly where this case is going to go. Will they settle out of court? And, there's some other descriptors here, and as we know in legal and the legal minds and so forth, this is going to get very messy. Now, I am going to disclose that I am not a lawyer. I am not a doctor. I'm a card reader, and I'm going to bring you the news, and I'm going to bring you all this information. And yes, it may be what someone else says, but I'm going to take it further and do a card reading on it. And this is our opinions. We are allowed our opinion. All right, so here we are. We're going to be taking this Kipper deck. This is the main male. That's Mr. Piccolo. Isn't that amazing how that comes out? And, of course, there is a mature lady who is a relative of Mrs. Piccolo, Dr. Tangsuan, I think is her name. I hope I didn't mispronounce that. No disrespect meant there. Great fortune. I don't think there's going to be a great fortune there, but poverty. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to lay one more row. And that one more row is this. Distant horizons from the Kipper deck. Community. Occupation. And official person. So that is the lawyer on the case. This is Mr. Piccolo. I'm going to put the Kipper to the side. What I'm seeing here is definitely laying down the foundation of what is happening. Because Mr. Piccolo, one thing I did not mention, is he is also suing for loss of income because the doctor was very well known and very established. And this has definitely put him in a financial deficit. So that's why that has come out. And distance horizons. Yeah, I think this is going to be a case that's going to be lingering for one of those long times to come, because actually it is a cousin of Dr. Piccolo or Dr. Tangsuan's that is the attorney in the case. And he's not going to let go of this. It is a matter of merit, maybe even morals and conscience. And you know there's no law with those types of things, but they're not going to let go. That's a family member. So this is going to be a while before this settles, that I can see. And yes, this community is upset over this happening because, well, it's going to be affecting that restaurant, jobs, area. And not only that, many people will be, I believe, canceling their Disney streaming services and so forth. But you know, even when you purchase a ticket, now this is my understanding, please correct me if you know I'm wrong, but it's my understanding that when you purchase a ticket to even go into the park, there's a certain waiver that you give. Maybe, sorta. If you do it online, definitely. So this occupation, this is something where the doctor had worked with her hands and was very good at it. So that was her occupation, and it doesn't surprise me that it comes below the card that talks about her wealth, her fortune, and the loss. And here is the attorney that is the family member. So we definitely have a good foundation there. I don't know anybody's birthdays, but let's take a look. And I'm asking spirits, guides, angels to look into this case to the best of your ability and knowledge, and share with us what we need to know in the tarot. Definitely the Two of Wands, a fire element coming out. There's the Seven of Wands, another fire element. There's the Five of Cups. And a Page of Wands, another fire element. Now, why all fire elements? Well, bottom line is, you know how they say where you have to light a fire under something to get it going? I really believe that that's what it's going to take, because let's take this particular card here, the Two of Wands. This Two of Wands, you see, there's a particular choice that needs to be made. This gentleman is overlooking this, basically the world. The world is in his hand. But you see, one of the choices is an anchor. And I believe, or is anchored to that wall, and I believe that that is the Disney coming out and saying, oops, sorry, you can't sue us because we had a waiver in our 2019 app where you sign up for a free trial. Please. Right? So there's going to be some options for Mr. Piccolo, and bottom line is, one of the options is basically fight. Get up and make this well known. Sometimes the pressure from public can push these bigger corporations and companies into doing the right thing. Now, is Disney responsible? It was not their restaurant. You see the can of worms here. It wasn't their restaurant. They had leased the property out to someone, however, right? They're still involved. And usually in a lawsuit like this, they bundle everything together, no pun intended about bundling, but they bundle everything together and they'll sue everyone else involved, and most likely down to the waiter, the chef, the staff, the restaurant owner. And that's why Disney is, jumping in on the bandwagon and saying, whoop, 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 you can't sue us. First of all, we're too big. Secondly, we don't have anything to do with it. It's their fault, pointing to the restaurant. It's their fault. We're just saying that you can't sue us because of that waiver in 2019 app for a free trial for Disney Plus. A little ridiculous, in my opinion. Share with me what you feel. But here is the Five of Cups, and this is the regret from Mr. Piccolo. And rightfully so. I understand how he is feeling. He's bottom line regretting. Did he do the right thing? Did he push the staff to understand not to prepare his wife's dinner with these foods or these allergens or whatever the case may be? He's having a rough time, and we certainly can understand that. He's definitely regretting things. And he's looking behind him and thinking, why didn't I do this or why didn't I do that? But there's news coming for this group, and I'm very glad to see this. There's going to be a way in which they're able to settle, and I do believe that there will be a settlement coming, but it is going to take a little bit based on that distant horizons. And we've got the 36, I'm going to say maybe within 3 years. Now, they started this back in, I believe it was October of 2023. I think they filed shortly after that. So within 3 years, I think sooner though, but it's still going to be a minute. This Page of Wands is definitely announcing. And you see that he's very well dressed. So I believe that he's going to be announcing that there is a way, there is a pathway to settle. No one wants any lawsuits. I mean, that's the bottom line. Nobody wants a lawsuit. But I do feel, in my opinion, that it is a little bit on the arrogant side for Disney to be jumping into this and saying because of the waiver. That is a very unsettling thing for the rest of us who have Disney and who have Disney Plus. And, bottom line is, if you don't agree to the terms and conditions, you don't get the service. Let's see what the hidden deck has to say. This is Mr. Piccolo. And the bottom line is there is a decision that definitely needs to be made because his wife, his life, this partnership in love was ripped from him. And it doesn't surprise me that it comes close to this Five of Cups. There's definitely the frustration, the hurt, the upset, but then there's that business part of it that basically is that non-emotional corporate idea that, no, I'm sorry, skippity-doo-dah, go along your own way. We're not going to step in and help at all. I think there is some imagination that needs to be curbed. I know I'm using these, maybe, the imagination, but it's very true. This is the card here that basically says it's time to curb those feelings and start to work on what is the right thing to do. I want to pull a couple of more cards I want to see what the right thing here. And this card wanted to come up, so we'll take it as well. And I'm glad we did. That's the Nine of Hearts. What this looks like is these are two financial cards. They're basically saying that, yes, there will be some payment coming. I do believe there will be a settlement. Just like I said before, they're going to be able to settle. This lawyer isn't going to give up. They will get some type of settlement. And it's very unfortunate that she had to go through that, you know, for all of this. It's very sad. I don't see any intent, criminal intent here. I'm not a lawyer. You know, obviously this was an unfortunate circumstance. I'm going to take a couple more of these cards and see where we're going. Star, yes, there is definitely hope. There's definitely, the prayers are going up, and definitely hope. And yes, and now, I'm going to talk to you about this card for a minute, because most people look at this card and they think, oh my gosh, they're going to be broke. And I believe in a circumstance like this, see, this is one of those cards, it's like this Five of Hearts. There's a decision that needs to be made. This is the Five of Pentacles, or the Five of Coins. And you see there's a red cloak, which is power, but there's green hair that is money. And you see this young person on crutches, and there's a person without a shoe. And I mean, this looks really like dire straits here in the snow. But for me, in this particular layout, because we've got close to the Star card, that is basically balance, hope, meditation, working things out, blessings to come. This is not going to take a turn and say, oh, well, they're going to be broke and going on and blah, blah. No, this looks, because, see, they're not just standing there. They're walking away. And I believe that in this particular case, this is telling me they will be walking away from this destitute side for Mr. Piccolo, and they will be walking toward a settlement. That's how I get it. I'm going to pull one card to get a confirmation, and that card is yes, a celebration is going to be at hand. Now, certainly not going to be celebrating the doctor's death by all means, but a celebration and a win for many reasons, and that would be having a settlement come when it really looks like dire straits right now. They could settle as early as in with 3 months. But again, we have the number 3 here, which I think is within 36 months. Why am I saying into the fall? And I'm thinking maybe before the end of this year, we're going to hear of some type of settlement coming. I hope so for that family. But it does look like they're walking away from this problem and into a solution is really what this looks like. I'm really sorry this happened, and I just feel for this family. This is really bad, but I'm going to also say, read the fine print, everyone. From now on, when we want these free trials and we want these things, read the fine print. We just don't know what we are agreeing on arbitrarily, where someone can just make a decision that maybe can affect or wreck our life so much in the future. Thank you so much for being here. Rest in peace. Rest well with the angels, Doctor. Justice will be done for you. And I'm going to tell you, I'm so sorry that this happened to the family. For all of you, you know I'm going to be back very soon with another episode of Seeing Crime. Let's follow this. Let's wish this family well. And if you haven't already, please do me a favor and subscribe, like, share if you think that you have someone would be interested in this. I always love it that you're here, and I love your comments, but I'm going to say this one thing. If you send me a snarky little comment, don't expect a snarky little answer. If it's too snarky, we may just say, here's your ticket to the cosmic unknown, and I just may click and we won't see you again. But I know I don't have to worry about any of you doing that, do I? Because you're all so sweet, kind and thoughtful. And that's what keeps this community going. Thank you so much. Here's another video that I know YouTube is going to want you to see. And you have a beautiful day. And let's keep this case on the shelf and let's watch. Let me know if you know this. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm going to be very interested. Thanks again, my darlings, and take care. I'll see you again next time. Bye.